I'm out this late evening to try a few features on the Mini 4 Pro drone that I have not tried before. And these are namely some of the hyperlapse features. So come along with me and let's see how this turns out. Beautiful sunset out there. So the first thing here is to take it up and just take a few photos. So the way I do that is I go into and select photos. And at the bottom where we see shutter speed is 1/160, I'm going to tick on that group there. And I'm going to enable auto and let the drone determine the correct settings for the time of the day. We're getting into the evening time now. Right now the Mini 4 Pro is telling me the optimal setting for ISO is 200, so I'm going to lock that in. And that the best shutter speed is 1/2500. I'm going to lock that in. Then I'm going to come out and hit that first group under RAW and double check my settings here. So I'm shooting with a white balance of 5600K. My format is RAW. Aspect ratio is 4/3. I'm going to shoot in 48 megapixels, so that looks good there. So I'm going to launch the drone now. And let's take it up and get ourselves a composition. I think what I also want to do is go into settings and turn on my grid lines here. Select that middle one. Okay. And let's see what I can get here. I'm going to angle the drone over to the left and see what's out there as far as a composition or a photograph. That looks good right there. And let's angle the gimbal down just slightly. And that's my shot. So I'll hit the shutter button. And there's my shot. Let's now move it over in the other direction. And that looks like a good shot. And let's take another photograph. And I can also do a vertical shot. So let's do that as well. I'm going to put that in vertical. And let's take another shot. And let's move it over in the other direction. And let's take another photograph. Okay, let's put that back into landscape. Next, I'm going to do the Pano mode, and there are several modes within the Pano mode. And before I do that, I want to come down to the lower right-hand corner and set this up. I'm going to select format there and make sure I'm in JPEG. I'm in JPEG, and I don't want to be in Pro on this one. I think I'm going to go Auto to keep things simple. And with my EV, I'm going to bring that down to, say, minus 0.3. That looks good. So before you can use Pano, the drone must be up in the air. So let's launch it. I'm going to take it out in front of me. And I know there are trees there, so I'm going to take it up slowly. Obstacle avoidance should catch everything, though. Let's get this up at a decent height. And let's angle the drone over in that direction. I am going to take it up higher because the first panel that I'm going to do here will be called Sphere. The Sphere mode will take 35 photos. Let's bring this down below 400 feet so that I'm legal. Okay, I'm good there. All right, so to start the panel, I'm going to select Photos and then come down to the bottom where you see Panel and select that. And Sphere is already selected by default. So next step here is to hit the Start button. Make sure you have a full battery when you do this because these panel modes will consume lots of battery. If you look over on the right hand side, just below that red X, you will see a status indicator. So in these panel modes, the drone will take a series of photographs and then stitch them together. So this is done. The next one, I believe, is a 180, just below that sphere icon there. I'm going to tap on that now. The 180 degree mode will take 21 photos. So I'm going to tap on that one and then click Start. Now, you can select RAW as your format, but if you do that, uh, the processes will take longer and you're going to consume more battery. And the JPEG images look great. Okay, that's the 180 degree mode. The next mode I'm going to try is the wide angle mode. And the wide angle mode takes 9 photographs. Select it, clicking Start. Done. And the last one is the vertical mode right there. I select that. The vertical mode will take 3 photos, so this is going to be relatively quick. Done. That's it. Next, I want to do a waypoint hyperlapse. I'll keep this very simple. So the first thing I need to do is get the drone up in the air and find a composition. Okay, that's high enough. I'm going to angle the drone over in that direction. half sky, half landmass. I'm going to turn off these grid lines. Let's go into camera. So my first step is to select Hyperlapse and then scroll down to the bottom and select Waypoint. And the first thing I'm going to do is set this scene here as my first waypoint. So where you see set waypoint, I'm going to tap on that and tap on that plus symbol. That's my first waypoint. Next, I think I want to move the drone back and angle the gimbal down. Like so. Okay, I think that looks good. And that'll be my second waypoint. So I'll tap on that plus symbol and I now have a second waypoint. Then I'm going to tap on those three dots to the right there and go in and set some parameters. I'll leave the sequence at normal. My interval, I'll make that 3 seconds. Then I'll tap on that check mark symbol. And I see length there. I'm going to make the length 12 seconds. And tap on that check mark symbol. And then start. I have 92% battery, or about 30 minutes of flight time. And according to the status window at the bottom there, this hyperlapse is going to take about 15 minutes, so I'm good there. Make sure you have a full battery when you do this. If you don't own a Mini 4 Pro and you're thinking about buying one, I highly recommend that you buy the Fly More kit because you'll get 2 extra batteries and the battery charger. And trust me, it makes a difference. It's nothing like being out here and say if you want to do some hyperlapses or you want to do a variety of different types of shots and you have only one battery. I'm amazed at the stability of these small drones. While there are some variable winds, I'm at 300 feet, so I know at that height it's more windy, but yet the stability in the footage is incredible. I have another 7 minutes remaining on this hyperlapse. I started out with about 92% battery, and notice that the battery now is down to 69%. So hyperlapses are very taxing on the battery. 68%, and to the right of that, I'm being told I have about 27 minutes of flight time remaining on this battery, and the hyperlapse will be completed in about 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It's going to take 300 photos. If you look very closely, where at the bottom there where you see that timer ticking down to the right of that, you see 174 over 300. Once it gets to 300 over 300, then the hyperlapse will be complete. Okay, we're getting close here. My battery is now down to 56%, 22 minutes of flight time on the battery. The hyperlapse has taken 253 photographs, and I have about 2 minutes remaining on this hyperlapse sequence. Not a whole lot of movement. Over to the left, there's a stretch of road there, and there are a few cars on that. About 1 minute remaining, 20 seconds. Okay, right now, the Mini 4 Pro is creating the video. Over to the right, we see that big red button. What I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to move the drone over towards that bridge just to see if I can get away with doing another hyperlapse here. So I'm going to exit out of this and I'm going to tap on free at the top there. And going here and I set my interval to 2 seconds. And let's tap on that check mark there to lock that in. And it's going to do 300 frames, and that's because my length is set to 12 seconds. I might want to decrease that because my battery is less than 50%. So if I set that to, say, 8 seconds, then it's going to take 200 frames. Let's see if I can get away with this with my battery life. I doubt it, but let's see what happens here. So that's locked in, and I'm going to do start. This will work because I'm being told here that this free hyperlapse will take about 6 minutes, and I have about 16 minutes of battery life remaining. I probably could have gotten away with a 12-second interval, 300 frames or 300 photographs. 2 minutes remaining on this sequence. About a minute and 30 seconds remaining on this sequence, and I have about 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes remaining on the battery. 162 photos taken so far. 10 seconds. Mini 4 Pro has created the video. Over to the far right, under that big red button, we're giving a status, and video created successfully. So next, I want to do a circle hyperlapse. So I'm going to launch the drone and get it positioned. And I'm going to take it up to maximum height. Just under 400 feet. That's good enough. Then angle the drone over toward that bridge right below. And let's, beautiful sunset out there. And let's bring the gimbal down right there. Then let's go in and let's select hyperlapse. And then we'll tap on circle. Then I'm going to select that entire area out there. Then tap on that menu below here. And let's get some settings set in here. I'm going to set the interval to 3 seconds. And let's hit that check mark to lock that in. The length, I'm going to go with 12 seconds since I have a fresh battery in the drone. And let's lock that in. That'll give me 300 frames or 300 photographs. My speed, I'm going to set that to, say, 0.7 miles per hour. And let's lock that in. And rotation, I'll keep it at counterclockwise. Then hit the start button. Okay, this sequence will take about 15 minutes, and I have plenty of time on the battery, over 36 minutes. And the reason why I took the drone up high is because I want to be very discreet. Anyone down below not even notice it. It is a very chilly evening. It's about 45 degrees. So a lot of people are not out walking. And if you're driving, you're not looking up anyway. Hopefully you're paying attention to the traffic on the road. Mini 4 Pro is creating the video. Video created successfully. I'm going to generate a return to home. I'm going to stop this and go into ISO. I'm going to set this to auto so I can see. Okay. And bring it down. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for hanging around.